bi-monthly meeting post press conference. As you know, the MPC today reviewed current and evolving macroeconomic and financial conditions at its meeting today and decided to keep the policy rate under the liquidity adjustment facility unchanged at 6%. The decision of the MPC is consistent with the neutral stance of monetary policy. The MPC expects the headline inflation to average 5.1% in Q4 of this fiscal year, including the HRA impact, up from the 4.6% in Q3. Looking ahead, the MPC noted several upside risks to the inflation trajectory. The firming up of international crude oil prices, the hardening of non-oil industrial raw material prices, and stronger pricing power among firms. While inflation will likely move in the range of 5.1 to 5.6% in the first half of the next fiscal year, i.e. 2018-19, favorable base effects, including unwinding of the 7th Central Pay Commission's HRA impact, combined with expectations of normal monsoon and effective food supply management, may see inflation easing to 4.5 to 4.6% in the second half, with risks tilted to the upside. As regards the growth outlook, the MPC expects GVA growth to pick up from 6.6% in 2017-18 to 7.2% in 2018-19, with the GST stabilizing and a conducive environment for a revival in investment activity created by improving credit offtake, large resource mobilization from the primary capital market, and improving capital goods production and imports. The MPC was also of the view that the process of recapitalization of public sector banks and the referencing of large distressed borrowers for resolution under the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code should improve credit flows further and create demand for fresh investment as allocative efficiency in the economy goes up. Alongside, export growth is expected to improve further on account of improving global demand, although elevated commodity prices, especially of oil, may act as a drag on aggregate demand. The committee took note of some upside risks. The impact of HRA increases by various state governments on headline inflation, further pressure on crude oil and commodity prices, the union budget proposals on the minimum support prices for kharif crops, and the increase in custom duty on a number of items. The impact of fiscal slippages on inflation and broader macro-financial implications, notably on economy-wide costs of borrowing and financing conditions, and the effect on the confidence of external investors. However, there are also mitigating factors. First, capacity utilization remains subdued, albeit increasing slightly. Second, oil prices have moved both ways in the recent period and can potentially soften from current levels based on production response. Third, rural real wage growth is moderate. Further, global demand is improving, which should help strengthen domestic investment activity. The focus of the union budget on the rural and infrastructure sectors is also a welcome development, as it would support rural incomes and investment, and in turn provide a further push to aggregate demand and investment activity in the coming quarters. The nascent recovery needs to be carefully nurtured and growth put on a sustainably higher path through conducive and stable macro-financial management. Against this backdrop, the MPC emphasized the need for vigilance and decided to keep the policy rate on hold with a neutral stance while reiterating our commitment to the target on a durable basis. Thank you. I will now request Dr. Acharya, then DG Vishwanathan, and DG Kanungo. We have a fair bit of proposals outlined in Part B. So, Dr. Acharya.
Thank you, Governor. Good afternoon, everyone. I'll touch briefly upon the evolving liquidity conditions in the economy. Last year, the system witnessed unparalleled levels of surplus liquidity post-demonetization. RBI interventions to manage excess volatility induced by large subsequent capital inflows also added surplus liquidity to the system. To absorb this surplus liquidity and to reach the stated policy objective of neutral system liquidity, RBI has used multiple tools as announced in its April 2017 monetary policy statement, namely reverse repos, market stabilization scheme instruments, and open market operation or OMO sales.